Tommy Freeman, a brilliant game of football here today in Healy Park. It was 9 points apiece between Monaghan and Tyrone in the first round of the Division 1 National League. What did you make of the game? Was it Monaghan's for the taking in the end?
I think, yeah, it was. I say when they go away, Ashton, and look at this game, they'll be disappointed. But I suppose the conditions played a big part. It was a swollen wind for the whole match. It even got worse in the second half. I thought Monaghan in the first half, they took maybe an extra pass or two when I thought a shot was on themselves and just fluffed it. That gave Tyrone a bit more time to get men behind the ball and to actually overturn Monaghan on a couple of occasions. But I suppose in the grand scheme of things, over the 70 minutes, when you look at it, it was tit for tat. There wasn't much between the teams. I suppose maybe a draw would have been a fair result.
As you said, they were quite wasteful at times. I thought Monaghan in that first half. There was times where they probably could have took their scores and they would just pass it off again and again, or took the wrong option at times.
Yeah, I suppose it is, and I suppose actually, it's easy talking about these things looking on, especially when you're on the heat of battle. You just you've only a split second to make a decision. I just thought on a couple of occasions, Monaghan had, kind of 3 goal chances there, but I thought Shane Carey he gave a ball into Gary Mohan, which was very unlucky. He flicked it and just went to the right of Niall Morgan and wide. I thought maybe if Shane had to go on, maybe fist it over the bar himself, but however, if the ball had to go into the net, we wouldn't be talking about that. I suppose Monaghan had another. Conor McCarthy sold a great dummy, give it into Kieran Duffy. Kieran got the shot away for goal, and I think it was Padraig Hampsey made an outstanding diving block. They actually deflected onto the crossbar, so Monaghan didn't even come away with a point. So they would have been disappointed with that. And yeah, on a couple of occasions when the shot was on, when I thought, now I know there was a strong breeze there, but when the shot was on, Monaghan just took an extra pass, took the wrong decision, and obviously gave Tyrone time to get men back and overturned it.
Yeah, there was definitely a breeze, and there was also the water on the pitch. You could definitely see it any time any of the lads were bouncing the ball. It was hardly coming up. There was splashes as they were running around. You could really notice that, and that sort of hinders the game as well, because you're passing in these balls, and if they take that extra bit of a jaunt on, it's hard to get onto it.
It is indeed, but I have to admit, it was a great game, considering the weather we put up with here this evening nationally. It was both teams deserve great credit. There was some excellent scores taken, and I suppose there was a few times, when you want the ball to go to hand, and that's what we tried to teach even the youngsters coming up now, make sure all the ball goes to hand. There was a few balls didn't, and it went to ground, and it just skidded off the ground, and that just gives it a team that split second or two to get plenty of men back behind the ball. But in overall now, you have to give credit to both teams. The weather just didn't happen, but it was a great opening league match here that we all witnessed.
And you think at times that you would probably play through the hands a little bit more and you'd keep on the ball, but a lot of the times they opted for long balls. Both teams, they were opting for long balls inside.
Yeah, both teams had plenty of men behind the ball, and there was nice crisp passing, with the fist passing through the hand, lovely. But there was times Colin McShane and Darren McCurry, especially in the first 10-15 minutes, Ashton, was finding a wee bit too much space for my liking on the edge of the D. But Monaghan, got on top of that and got men back, and thought the likes of Conor Boyd on Colin McShane was a great battle, and the likes of Ryan Wiley on Darren McCurry was a great battle. And I actually think the Monaghan men came out on top in that. But as I said before, both teams deserve great credit.
And something that was interesting here today is the goalkeepers. It always is when you see Rory Beggan and Niall Morgan. And Niall Morgan was actually coming up to contest the kickouts. It was a first that I seen it anyway, that he was actually in the middle of the pitch going up for the kickouts.
Yes, Aisling, I think we're looking at the 2 top goalies in the country here. Niall Morgan from Tyrone and Rory Beggan, our own Monaghan man. They're the 2 top boys. I think Rory finished with 3 scores, 1 from play actually, which is very, very unusual. And I see he picked up man of the match tonight, and rightly so. But them boys is taking the game to a whole new level. And Niall Morgan and Rory Beggan is so important for both their teams here at the minute. When you see Rory Beggan comes away here with 3 points, 2 from frees and 1 from play, it's a massive bonus to have.
And he's a massive part of the team because he offered a 15th man many a times, and when Kieran McGeary was sent off, that was 2 extra men that Monaghan had to push up the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. So he always makes himself. He leaves you on the edge of your seat with times, Ashton, because there's times if this ball spills, he's away out of his position. But however, he's got away with it so far. But he is a great addition. I like why so Niall is for Tyrone. But definitely, it's been a great. I think the supporters got the value for money here this evening. It was an enthralling game of ball in such treacherous conditions.
And there was a chance at the end for Rory Beggan to put it over to win by just a point. He decided to go short, which I was quite surprised about, but I did speak to him there and I asked him what was the thinking behind that. And he said that, look, when he took the one just prior to that, he had a shot as well, that it went wide. He said the ball just, like as he was about to kick it, it sort of blew off. And he just said, you know what, I just thought that was the better option. And look, he holds his hands up.
Yeah, I suppose, listen, when we were looking down, we says, right, he's going to kick this one. But then in the grand scheme of things, Ashton, when you seen the pass he gave and the man that was loose, it was, to me, it looked like the right decision, surely. And unfortunately, if it had to be like a Conor McManus that had to be on that loose, but he would never have got that space. But anyway, listen, it didn't work out for us. It was unlucky. I knew that was, whatever would happen with that kick, that was going to be, Joe McQuillan was going to blow the whistle. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out, and we come away here with a point. But that could be a very valuable point for both teams come the end of the league, Ashton.
And Conor McManus, he came on 15 minutes to go. He got the equaliser, as he does many, many times. He's always doing it for Monaghan, and he stepped up when he's needed him. He's just a great man to be able to bring off the bench, and he'll probably feature more and maybe start more of the games as we go on through the league.
Yeah, without a doubt, Ashton. So we know what Conor can do. He's one of the top forwards in the country. He's been doing it for Monaghan these years. He came off. He never featured in any McKenna Cup games, which was a pity because I think he was just hampering an injury. But it was great to come here tonight and look at the programme and see him actually on the bench. And I knew with about 10-15 minutes ago the Banty was going to spring him off the bench. He came up with a great score. Now he got plenty of attention when he came in. The Tyrone boys got to know him, and there was the last 10-15 minutes they were getting to test the fabrics of both sets of shots. But Conor, he is a marksman, and he kicked a wonderful point. But however, as I says, over the grand scheme of the 70 minutes, we will be disappointed. From a Monaghan man, you'll be disappointed. I think we had enough of chances to come away with the win, but I suppose over the 70 minutes, probably a draw would be a fair result.
And as you said, they definitely got to know him. That's what I said to him as well. I said he missed his first one, and they really let him know. They were giving him a few shoulders and telling him he missed it and the whole lot. And then he stepped up and he scored the second. And I suppose that just shows you the type of player he is. But just as two teams, there's no love lost. There really isn't. You could tell that out on the pitch.
Definitely, Ashton. Even going back from my years, it was Monaghan Tyrone, big rivalry, and Tyrone had been a monkey of Monaghan's, a monkey in the back for many and many years, and this last while we started overturned them, and but last year it finished here all square, 14 points apiece in the league, and I was here doing commentary with the local radio station on that, and I thought that night Monaghan had the winning of it. But however, there's never too much between them now this last 5 or 6 years. But we'll do battle again. But yes, the rivalry is very much still there.
And looking ahead now, Monaghan and Mayo in the next game, so it'll be a big game there. They come up against the All-Ireland champions today and the runners-up as well, so it's going to be a tough game. Yeah,
a tough game. I was just saying over there, if you had to lose your first match, there'd be severe pressure. You have to go and win your second match, or all of a sudden you could be facing relegation in the face. But we came away here, we got a result. We got a point. We can't be too disappointed. We have to, Banty, I'm sure, will get his team back to training now, recovery tomorrow night. To do a bit of video analysis during the week, tell them, of course there's always something you can improve on, Ashley and I, but don't be too disappointed. We got a point. As I said, that point could be very, very important come the end of the league, but they'll be getting ready now for the men from the west, which is Mayo. That's in Clonus next Sunday, which will be another massive crowd at it, and one I'm looking forward to.
And for you, Tommy, are you playing any ball anymore?
No, actually, that's me. I well and truly hung the boots up. I finished up there last year, just before the COVID came in, and I suppose it disrupted a lot of sporting events, and I'm glad we're all kind of looking forward now, a bit of positivity, and hopefully this will be the way forward. It's great to see the stands full again here, but no, I have the boots hung up, so I'm keeping busy now with juveniles with my club, Marathon Mitchell. So we have a wee man playing, and he's going into his first year at under 11, so been kept very busy with them boys.
And when you're looking on here today in these big occasions, do you miss it?
Definitely, Ashley. Nothing replaces match day. When you come in, especially even league matches is great, but especially on championship day when you're, travelling up through the crowd on the bus, especially in the clonus of a championship day, the hair stands on the back of your neck. The other days you missed, they'll never replace it. But there comes a time when you have to call it a day. And I was lucky enough with the injuries. I kept myself in good enough shape, and I kept going up until I was near 40. So I didn't do too bad out of it.
Absolutely. It's tough to probably make that decision, I'm sure, to retire, but it's nice to be able to come here now and enjoy the games.
It is, yeah. It is, as I said, nothing replaces playing, and all of a sudden you find a big void in your life because you're so used to training maybe 4 or 5 nights a week, maybe six when I was with county, and but then again you went back to your club, and when I retired from the county, it was great to have your club. That's where it all starts, Ashing, and it filled up. But as I said, now I've hung them up, and I putting in plenty of time with our juveniles back home. But yeah, it's great. You can come here and relax, and kind of half relax by times. But tonight you couldn't relax very much. You're kind of very much on the edge of your seat. But yeah, that's it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing beats playing.
No, definitely not. Well, look, I'm sure they're delighted to have you in coaching them too. Well, that's great, Tommy. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat to us.
No problem.